Hi, this is Mark from Marky Plays Wargames, and I think tonight is going to be the second episode of the Drunken Wargamer, because I have to say I have been out and I've had a few pints, and hey, I've got an Australian friend here with me, so what can I say? Anyways, there are a few things I want to talk about. I'm going to talk to you about Dead Zone. I'm going to talk to you about Age of Sigmar. And the first thing, though, is on a personal note. Yesterday, no, I lie, Thursday, because actually, yeah, it is Friday today, so yesterday, I went into a Games Workshop store for the first time in probably about 10 years. And I bought some paints, which I don't know if you know how I am. I have a small Chaos Space Marine army, but two large Kings of War armies, and none of them are painted. Mainly because of the fact that a fair few years ago I had some severe fits and I've been diagnosed with severe epilepsy. So I am tempted to actually make a series of videos called The Epileptic Painter. But anyway, shifting on from this, I bought some paints. I'll show you what I got. I got Citadel Chaos Black. I've got Genestealer Purple. I've got Lead Belcher. And I've got Retributor Armor. And I have Nuln Oil obviously for the metal. And I have Druchii Violet for the Genestealer Purple. I have a Emperor's Children. Well, I will have an Emperor's Children army. So that's where the purple comes in. Oh, and I bought two brushes as well. That's a base brush and that's a fine detail brush, I think. Anyway, that small amount of stuff cost me 30 quid. So, as I didn't want to go into Games Workshop anyway, but it was my local gaming shop, and I didn't want to wait for getting my paints. You know, I went in there and that's what I got. I would rather, if I urge you to do something, is buy your paints from Army Painter or Vallejo or whatever. Just the Games Workshop paints are so, and supplies are so expensive. Just go somewhere else. And I'm sorry, GW, but that's just how I feel. Anyways, personal stuff aside, and I'm going to take a slurp because I do have a bit of a dry mouth. See, Australians aren't all too bad. They may be criminals, but they do make a good lager. Vaguely. Anyways, I am going to probably try and get onto some painting tomorrow. Right, anyways, let's start with Dead Zone. Dead Zone, I like Dead Zone. I used to play it a lot with my daughter and my daughter's mother. And, you know, they were really quite into it. But there's now a Dead Zone version 2. And this Dead Zone version 2 removes all of the character cards and the command dice and tries to streamline it all into one kind of thing. And I have to say, I don't think I'm actually really quite taken on the rules. I've only seen the version 2 beta. I'm going to have to read the rulebook when it comes out. But I am not impressed thus far. If it doesn't come up to my standards, I will just carry on playing Dead Zone version 1. It's like how a lot of you guys are about Age of Sigmar, and you don't like Age of Sigmar, but you could carry on playing Warhammer 8th, essentially. And this brings me nicely on to Age of Sigmar, actually. Games Workshop have made a huge step with Age of Sigmar in that they've destroyed their old setting. They've created a new one, which a lot of it kind of draws from Norse mythology. But they are really getting into some really heavy fluff stuff. And one of the things that I liked about Age of Sigmar was the fact that all of the rules pretty much were free to download. So you could download the basic rule set, which was 4 pages. You could download all of the stats for all of the units that you already had. So you could download the stats for your army. So if you had a Skaven army, you'd have the stats for a Warlord, you'd have the stats for your Storm Vermin, you'd have the stats for your Hell Pit Abomination, Lightning Cannon, whatever. Okay, yeah, they are all on individual pages, or War Scrolls, as they're called. But they have taken another leap, and this is something that Games Workshop doesn't generally tend to do. They have listened to the community, and they are releasing something called the General's Handbook, which has rules for organised play, rules for different scenarios, but also one of the things that the players had a gripe with was there was no balance in Age of Sigmar. Now there might be, because the General's Handbook introduces points values for units. And again, like I said, this is a huge leap forward for Games Workshop. It means that the people that were playing Warhammer can still use their armies properly in Age of Sigmar, and you're not just going to have Archaon just kicking ass, or Stormcast Eternals running through units. It's going to actually have to be a balanced force to take on a balanced force. And this, I think, is a good move for Games Workshop, and it may show something that show the way that they are moving forwards with Age of Sigmar. Admittedly, there's still no real balance in 40k, but what can I say? I'm a Chaos Space Marine player, so I'm a little bit bitter. But anyway, I was always interested in Age of Sigmar anyway, and this is making me get even more interested in Age of Sigmar. So we're going to have to see how this develops. And I for one, I'm very intrigued. Anyways, that's going to be me for now. I'll see you on the flip side, and have one for me. See you later.